Susie Clow. I'm so confused on DNA. I got back from my hopefully new stud dog. I've always thought a fawn could not also have brindle. Correct. Fawn dogs. So she gives us the DNA. So a fawn dog will not have brindle because brindle over trumps pretty much everything except for cream. And so brindle dogs will typically, you don't always show the brindle, but pretty much always you'll see some brindling somewhere. So let's have a look. She gives us the DNA. So here's the DNA. AYA, that's the tan point part of it. Not chocolate. Is cocoa. I don't know what you've put down here because it's kind of weird. You put DDO, but we'll say that's DD for blue. MN, we'll put this at the end here. EM, black mask. I may be going up now, probably not going off the screen. Here's the kicker. NKB. Bingo, brindle dog. That's a brindle dog. So you say it's not a brindle. You're not understanding why your fawn dog is not fawn. Well, it's not. It's a brindle dog. Got a KB in there. It's also got big M, little m. So it's also a merle. And so here's the thing about looking at the colors of dogs and trying to figure out what they are. Merle dogs, it takes one copy. Brindle takes one copy. And brindle merles, it's hard to see the brindling because of the color pattern of a merle. It can be hard to see the brindling. So that'll get you confused every time. And again, the only way to really tell is a DNA test. And you've got it, and that is a brindle dog. So somebody's asking how much is the Mando stud fee. Give that phone call a number, and Cody will talk to you about that. Candy Crush, have any of your pups ate all the way through the pregnant? I don't understand your question. Sorry, you have to rephrase that for me. Lynn Fan. We bred our girl on a second heat, did all the progesterone testing. She was at a 12.5 nanomoles on day 8, which is a 3.9 nanograms, correct. Then she was at 46.3 on day 10, and we AI'd her the next 3 days after that. The study's proven, but the vet didn't see any puppies on ultrasound 35 days. What could we have done wrong? Well, okay, so you had day 10. She was at a 14.5 nanograms, which is basically the right place to be breeding. And then you bred her the next 3 days. So you bred her on day 11 through day 13. You bred her. You didn't breed her here. I'd have bred her here. That's when I'd have bred her. But with that, if you bred her day late, would that result on a no litter? Nah, not normally. So what could have gone wrong? Well, you didn't do a progesterone test here to make sure the numbers there can be some funny things that happen here. You can have a dog that's going up nicely and then all of a sudden it drops. You did a test here and you come up with 14.5, but in fact the next day she dropped down to an 8. That is possible. Do I think that that's likely what's happened? Probably not. Probably not, because normally once you get to a 14.5, you're on the road to a high numbers. And specifically since you then bred, I think you probably bred early, but did you look at this, just because it's a proven male, did you look at the semen under a microscope? So we want to know, here's the things that we need to get a successful litter. And by the way, just because you had an ultrasound that doesn't show any puppies doesn't mean she's not pregnant. Ultrasounds are notoriously bad at getting it wrong. It's just the way that it is. So she may still be pregnant, so you may still be okay. But here are the things that you need to have to get a dog pregnant. Viable semen. You need to look at it under a microscope. Needs to be 200 million motile sperm. You need to have 200 million of these little buggers that look like they're swimming properly. Number 2, you've got to have your timing right. And what I recommend is that you always do a progesterone test when you think you're finished to make sure the numbers are higher than what they need to be so you know you're finished. Number 3, technique. You've got to get the semen to stay inside the girl, otherwise she's not going to get pregnant. If it all spills out because you didn't spend enough time holding her up, likely get a small or no litter. Number 4 is the girl herself. Is she capable of having puppies? I spelled that wrong, but it doesn't matter. Oh God. I think I'm dyslexic sometimes. I don't know how to spell it, doesn't matter. Is she able to have puppies? There can be problems with her. If you're unsure about that, you've had a series of missed litters, then go check her blood numbers and make sure that she doesn't have like a thyroid condition. And then the fifth one is there's just a chance factor in this. You can just get unlucky. You can just get unlucky. But if you consistently not getting puppies, the things that I would do is the things I've talked about here, and I would probably mix it up and choose a different stud next time, just to kind of try to rule it out of the mix. Pradashifty says, hey, if my baby's butt started caking up on poop like you said, how would you suggest cleaning it? Warm water and a paper towel. Just rub away, get it cleared up. Trend M. What if you have a female that has aborted the litter, the next litter she absorbed, and the following litter she didn't take? What would you suggest? Even though we progesterone tested every 3 days, according to Bridex, we bred on time. Okay, so you've had 3 failures. So, 3 failures. With a dog that showed to be pregnant, a dog that absorbed puppies, and a dog that didn't get pregnant at all. So, number 1, do a brucellosis test. Probably an extra S in there that I've missed. Do a brucellosis. We sell them at My Breeder Supply. You have to draw blood. You get the results in 5 minutes. Do a brucellosis. If the dog has brucellosis, it will abort puppies and have stillborn puppies and not take them to term. So that's the first thing. If that dog has brucellosis, you're done breeding her. That's it. She's got it. You can't fix it. That's it. Number 2, canine herpes virus is another possibility. Although typically dogs that have canine herpes virus don't do well on their first litter, but subsequent litters are okay. Why that is, I'm not sure, but apparently that's correct. Then, number 3 would be is he's just got unlucky. And I would be choosing a different stud dog and look at the stuff that I did in the previous question to make sure that you are covering all the bases, that you're doing progesterone tests even after you finish, that your technique is right, that the semen looks proper. Okay. And she just may not be able to get pregnant. Do a blood test on her too. Alex Mendoza, you really need to state the topics addressed in your videos, please. I fully understand what you're saying. I have a lot of people ask that question. Here's the problem. I'm lazy. The problem with this, Alex, is that I just do these on the fly. And I do them quickly. And I mean, what you're seeing here is a video that literally I just pull the phone up, look at the questions. We're in the car with Tammy, or I'm on the board and I'm answering it. I don't know what the questions are ahead of time. And I'm too lazy to put up a list of stuff at the beginning. So I do have I've got tons and tons of videos on specific topics on YouTube, on the channel. You could probably find those. But I understand what you say. It's just the amount of time and effort it takes me to do this. Remember, this is a free service. So there's your answer. I may not be the one you want, but that's the truthful answer. Jay Smoking Zay. I AI'd my girl when she was 12 on Monday, 12 PG on Monday. The stud wasn't available till Thursday. Yes. So what happened was that you couldn't use your dog because he was 18 months old and you had to use a different dog. Yeah, so all right, so let's just look at what we think is going on here. So here is a graph, and what we're saying is that she was a 12 on Monday. We've got that point there. So the question is, where do we think she is on this graph based on the information given? Well, typically ovulation is a 5, the day after that it's an 8. So I'm going to say that this dog ovulated something over the weekend. Let's just call it Sunday. She ovulated on Sunday. Her numbers are going up like this. Once she's ovulated, her numbers are going to go up quickly. They're going to go up about 70% a day after ovulation. So if she was a 12 on Monday, 70% of that gets you to around a 20 on Tuesday. And that gets you to something around a 30 or more on Wednesday. And it gets you really up here high on Thursday. Do I think you'll get a pregnancy out of this? I think you get a small litter or none. I think what you should have done is probably done a TCI at that point anyway. So I suspect you're out of the window. What is the window of opportunity to get a litter? I think it's something around plus or minus 1 day from the optimum to not change the litter size. If you start going outside that, early or late, it's going to reduce litter size. You certainly could be a week outside and still get a puppy, because I've seen it happen. But you're not going to get a decent sized litter. And then for the most part, if you're a week late, or in your case, 4 days late, I would expect you to get 1, 2, or 0 puppies. Watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.